Evening peeps, good evening everyone. How's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe. Let's jump straight in and see what there is today. Let's start with this one. Gary Cully aims to bounce back against Reece on Taylor Cameron undercard. Okay, I like Gary Cully. I think he's a good fighter. He's a good talker, good character. He just got caught. He just got caught by Jose Felix and he couldn't recover. It happens sometimes. And I'm also happy that they're not trying to go straight back in with Jose Felix. You don't always have to do the get back. You don't. You can avoid a fighter. If that fighter's got your number, just move on, right? Amir Khan did it against Bradis Prescott. Amir Khan did it against Danny Garcia. I was desperate for those two rematches. We never saw them. Amir Khan went on his career and had a good career, right? I'm not trying to say Gary Cully is going to be the next Amir Khan. I'm just trying to say you don't always need to have a get back. Someone beats you, you almost have to kind of just realign, refigure out what you want to do and go again. And I think Gary Cully's actually changed trainers. So he's obviously trying out new things. As for the Reece matchup, I think Reece is undersized for a lightweight. I do. And Gary Cully's a very big lightweight. Maybe a lightweight that might need to move up, right? Because he's really big at the weight. Although he says he makes the weight easy. Reece only defeat is to Lee Wood. That was at featherweight. Obviously, he's jumped up since then. I think he is the English lightweight champion. But Gary Cully should beat Reece if he has any intentions of being a world-ranked lightweight. He should. But let's see. It's going to be a cracking atmosphere there again. And there's pressure on Gary now. There's pressure on him. I mean, back-to-back. One defeat. Okay. Back-to-back defeats. The rebuild is a big one. But by the way, well done to Reece getting on a big card as well. Good luck to both. I like both guys, but Gary Cully should come through that one. Buatsi Azeez undercard to move forward. Remaining card moved to York Court. This is very, very good news. Obviously, the news broke yesterday about Buatsi Azeez being off. Dan Azeez released a statement. Ben Shalom released a statement as well. Dan Azeez has hurt his back. The conspiracy theorists are running wild because Eddie Hearn 3 weeks ago said he didn't think the fight card was going to take place. I think that was down to poor ticket sales, or at least he heard that it wouldn't take place. So look, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if anyone's interviewed Dan Azeez yet. Again, we saw a statement. I'm not quite sure if Dan Azeez has actually spoken out about this. But look, first and foremost, about that, very, very disappointing. It is very, very disappointing because look, I did a video, was it yesterday, saying I think that had the potential to be fight of the year. It did. I think it was going to be explosive. Both guys know each other so well. I think it was going to be an absolutely fantastic fight. So very disappointed it doesn't happen. I'm hearing it will happen again December or early next year. So look, firstly, very disappointed about that. But we'll see. We'll see what happens next. Again, I'm not going to get into conspiracy theory stuff about ticket sales. I didn't really care about that for this fight because I just knew it was going to be a good fight. So ticket sales is one thing. The fact that these guys aren't being supported is, I don't know. I was going to say it's a reflection of the promotion, but it isn't that. Sometimes fighters just don't have that pull. Some fighters have a pull like that and some don't. And maybe Buatsi and Azeez just don't have a pull. But I will say this. I think the fight was going to be so good that I thought there might be a rematch. Don't know if there's a rematch clause in this one, but I thought there might be a rematch. And I think the rematch would sell because I think the first fight would deliver. So it is disappointing that this fight's off. But the card, as I said, moves forward. And that's a great decision by Ben Shalom and Boxer. And it moves to York Court as well, which I think is fantastic. Obviously, the main event will be Lawal versus Chamberlain. And when I heard Buatsi Azeez was off, I was upset about this fight. Because I think this fight, again, will deliver. It will deliver. It was supposed to happen on the Chris Billam-Smith-Okolie card. Do you remember that? It didn't happen. But it's a great fight. I think 50-50 scrap. You probably have to edge a little bit to Isaac Chamberlain because he's fought at the higher level. But he's lost at the high level. Right? He's lost to Okolie at the time, a British level fight. He's lost to Chris Billam-Smith as well. Whereas Lawal doesn't have that miles on the clock thing that I think Chamberlain has. But look, I think that's a great card. And I'm happy for the fighters on the undercard that still get paid as well. As I said, it goes to York Court. It's going to be a great atmosphere. And look, sometimes you must have to swallow your egos with these fights. Sometimes you just have to think of, okay, what have these guys done in terms of ticket sales before? And it's not every day you go to the O2 Arena. Not many times. But I mean, it's probably, you can only count on one hand, I think, the amount of times the O2 Arena sold out in the last, I would say 3 or 4 years. Not many people do it. Not many. It's a difficult sell. Even AJ struggled to do it against Jermaine Franklin. AJ struggled to do it against Hellenius. It isn't easy to do. So, yeah, I'm happy that Ben Shalom and Box have decided to move forward the card. Again, it's all about the fighters. They get paid, and a training camp hasn't gone to waste. So it's fantastic. Tim Zhu, I'm at super fight level. I don't talk shit out of my arse. I'm actually up there. He is. I mean, he has to be considered, I think, at worst, top 354 pounder. At worst. I can make an argument for him being number 2. I think you still have to have Jamel Charlo as number 1. He has 3 of the belts. He didn't lose any of those belts in the ring, so we didn't lose the belt in the ring. So Charlo is definitely number 1, but Tim Zhu could be number 2. Let's hope that we get that fight. Let's hope that Charlo doesn't do what I think he is going to do, which isn't fight for a year. I've got a feeling he just decides to chill for a year and then come back. Let's hope he goes straight in and gives us a fight in May. Like Canelo, we know is going to give us a fight in May. It's just going to happen. Charlo should be on that kind of thing as well, right? Should be on that. I was talking about that very quickly. You guys would have seen the news that Showtime are now out of the boxing business. I don't know what this means for their pay-per-view platform fights. I don't know if this is a case of they're not just going to do their regular free Saturday kind of night fights, or this is out of everything. Because there's obviously a lot of talk about PBC looking for a home. DAZN have been mentioned. Amazon Prime have been mentioned. So I think Showtime are fully out of boxing, which is crazy. Like, I grew up, I don't know about you guys, but I grew up on HBO and Showtime. I grew up a bit on ITV as well, here as well. And it was weird when that kind of decided, nah, enough. And now HBO and Showtime are both, again, 2 of the staples of American boxing have both said, you know what, enough's enough. It's crazy. And maybe the boxing model isn't sustainable. Maybe overpaying these fighters, as I think some of them have been overpaid. It's true. I'm all for fighters getting paid, but sometimes the economics don't seem to work. The accounts don't seem to add up. And maybe Showtime have suffered from that. So no more Showtime. So I wonder what happens with all these boxers. I do. Again, Al Heyman being Al Heyman, he'll find a home. And if it is Amazon Prime, then it's going to be a good sort of competition, good fight between Amazon and DAZN in terms of streaming platforms to showcase these fights. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Devin Haney, I was willing to fight whoever. I feel Regis Prograis is the best guy at 140. Their press conference was yesterday and it was entertaining. It was, I think it's a 50-50 fight. I know I kind of tweeted that, or I put it on my Instagram when the promo came out. And a lot of people were like, no, you know, like Devin Haney is a big favorite. I'm like, big favorite? I think it's because of how Regis looked against Zorilla. He didn't look great. But, I mean, Devin, who normally is the big bully in the ring, because he's a big 135, won't be the big bully against Regis Prograis. I think Regis Prograis is at worst the second best 140 pounder. I could say he's number 1, but I think I'm going to give that to Tio right now. I think it's a 50-50 fight. I really do. You're going up in weight, taking on the champion who's prideful. I think it's a great fight. I think it's a great sight. Shakur Stevenson, when I smoke Loma, a world would understand that I really am the truth. I don't know if you're going to get the credit for beating Loma. Not at this stage. I think Loma's sensational. I really do. And I don't know if the record books will support my argument that Loma is one of the greatest fighters of this generation, just because of the defeats, right? Defeat to Devin, defeat to Tio, defeat to Salido in his, was that first or second fight? But that guy was a genius. But now the fact is, these young cats are A, too young, B, too big, and C, too fresh. C, too fresh. Like, I think Loma should have got the decision against Devin Haney. And then, I don't know. But now I'm just not quite sure what's left of Loma. I don't know what he's going to do, if I'm honest with you. I don't think I want to see him against Shakur. Like, against Devin, I gave him a real good chance. And I was backing him. Like, I think he's going to beat Devin. Shakur, no. He ain't beating Shakur. Cattrall, Linares is a future Hall of Famer. I wouldn't show disrespect by talking about any other fights. Looking forward to this one. Again, when it was announced, I was like, you know, I wasn't that bothered about it. But all of a sudden, I mean, you see Linares hit the pads. Linares is so fucking sharp. Like, honestly, watching him hit the pads is just a treat. You could just put your feet up, grab a drink, cigar in mouth, and just watch him pad work. So it's none of that tippy-tappy fucking bullshit that we see. He is cracking the pads with combinations, and it looks clean. He's 38 now, Jorge Linares. Let's have a quick look at his recent record. I think I think he's coming into this on a win, I hope. Nah, all right, no, he's coming into this off the back of 3 defeats back-to-back. But 2021 Devin Haney defeat, close. Remember that was a close fight. I think Devin Haney only won that by a couple of rounds. Then Abdullayev, who's a very good fighter, stopped him. I think the one that isn't great is the Zora, how do I pronounce that? Hamazarian. I need to watch that because the scorecards are not great. 94, 96, 92, 98, 91, 99. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I don't know what he has left. Plus he's 38. But coming into this off the back of 3, like they've done well to sell this fight. I mean, anyone coming into a fight off the back of 3 defeats, that's a difficult sell. The fact that this has done nearly 7 or 8,000 tickets, I don't know. Jack Catchell obviously has got that following, but look, I speak to both tomorrow, and the questions will be, what does he have left? Like, what do you get out of beating a guy that has suffered 3 defeats back to back to back? We'll see. Fabio Wardley on David Adelaide. Here's what he is. He's useless for the most part. I think Adelaide is a good fighter. I think, again, I know I keep saying this, and you guys might be like, calm down, Addy. Not every fight can be 50-50. I think this is 50-50. I think this is 50-50. I really do. A lot of people I know think this is the fight of that card. Like, this is the one that everyone's like, okay, 1 second. Although I do think Bakoli Carlos Takam is a good fight as well. I was initially going over there. Like, I actually asked the Zone to go over there. So when I saw it, I was like, you know what? I want to get out there. I said, the Zone, like, are we going to do anything? Like, you know, there's going to be a lot of people to interview. I spoke to Melissa, who does all the stuff for Top Rank behind the scenes. I was like, look, explain it to me. And she kind of sold it to me. I was like, the Zone, are we going out there? So the Zone were already sending me out there to just do some little interview pieces. I did that in terms of being a camera. Now, though, the Zone have got the worldwide rights to it. I think I'm going out there in a bigger capacity. I was on a call the other day about now what they want me to do. So I'm out there doing a lot more than that. So I'm going to get interviews with Fury, with Ngannou, with everyone that's on the card. I think Mike Tyson's on the list as well, which is going to be Mike Tyson. I'm going to speak to Mike Tyson. This journey of mine is fucking crazy. Mike Tyson, you know. I'm going to speak to him. Get the fuck out of here. This is the time, yeah, not to get everyone watery-eyed and teared, but this is the time when I wish my dad was alive, because my dad obviously made me follow like everything I'm doing now. I wish my dad was around so I could say, Dad, get on the plane. We're going to see Mike Tyson. The fuck, man. Crazy. Crazy. All right, anything else before we wrap? You know what? I'm going to have to do a video. Obviously, there's a couple of videos we're going to do this week. We're definitely going to do a video on Lee Wood, by the way, has vacated his WBA featherweight title. We'll talk about that another time. But we're definitely going to do a video on Catchall Linares, just the card. I'll be honest with you, I'll score it legitly. And we're going to do a video on what next for AJ. AJ has gone into fight camp. I know that. Should I be saying that? I don't know. I just said it. He's gone to Texas. He's over there. So I think they are going to try and announce AJ to fight in December. We'll see how that plays out. All right, guys, girls, other little bits and bobs, but yeah, we'll leave that to another time. Peace and love.